Read the owner's manual carefully. Assemble the burner per the owner's manual. Before attaching the disc, check the tightness of the adjustable legs. Press down hard on the burner with both hands. If the adjustable leg slips, tighten them further. Connect the propane cylinder to the burner per the owner's manual. Position the propane cylinder upwind and at least 2 feet away from the heat of the burner. Prepare all ingredients such as vegetables, meats, seasonings, oils, etc. Any food preparation should be completed before lighting the burner. Gather all necessary paper towels and cooking utensils. All cooking items should be kept within easy reach. Do not leave the cooker unattended. Welcome to another show, Cooking with the Voyager Disc Cooker. I just wanted to show you another breakfast option that you can do when you're camping or here at the house. It's one of my children's favorite. It's going to be French toast. So we have our scrambled eggs, we have our bread, and I'd also like to do bacon with the French toast. And we're just going to throw that bacon straight into the disc and start working it around a little bit, just pulling the little pieces off, as you can see. Bacon's one of those items, breakfast items, when you start cooking with, that you really don't need to pre-oil the disc. Plenty. And when we're finished cooking with the bacon, I'm going to show you a technique that I use in keeping that oil, how to retain that oil, that we could use it again to swipe the pan as we need a little bit of oil for the French toast. With bacon, you'll notice that as it starts cooking and starts to brown, you'll get, I don't know if we could show this, what you'll get is a little bit of these little burnt pieces, crusties, little cooking crusties up to the side. Now this is just from the sugar in the bacon as it comes out. And those are going to be there, and I'll just show you a quick way what we'll do to manage those in the disc, so that we can just get rid of those, because we don't want those on there after we're finished with the bacon when we do the French toast, because they basically get in the way and they cause a lot of the food to stick to it. When you're cooking a lot of bacon, maybe like 3 or 4 packages at a time, not all the pieces are finishing at the same time, what you can do is just take the cooked ones or the ones that you find that are done, and you just move them right up to the side, right, just like that. Get them out of that oil. So they're finished, so they will stop cooking until you remove them off. Bacon's done. Let's take that off. I'm going to remove it from the disc cooker. We're just going to drain, just move it up to the side. Use those walls. We're going to drain a lot of that oil off of that disc just by sliding it up to the side of that wall. And you'll just see all that oil just comes right off. We'll take that right on there. We have a couple little black marks around here on the side. So what I usually do, I don't want the disc to build up a lot of, I want it to be nice, an even, smooth surface. So that's why I prefer using the steel spatula. We just kind of go around, making sure we get all those little high spots off before we go on to the French toast. Use the oil to loosen up a lot of those little caramelized little bits in the bottom of the disc pan, and then that will help break that up. And at this point, I also shut off the disc as we're working with this hot oil. So after we scrape out the caramelized pieces left over from the bacon in the grease, and we make it all kind of smooth and clean up that disc surface, we're going to take some paper towels, and this is going to be like 10 or so paper towels that I fold in half and then quarter, and we're going to place it in there to soak up that oil. So you get that side, flip it over, get this side, come around. We just want all that oil soaked up. And then we'll just fold this again, as you can see right in the disc. And what we're going to do is we're going to just slide this up here to the side. We're just going to wipe out all those little burnt crusties so none of those get onto our French toast. So we'll just come right up here, wipe out all those little crusties. Take our egg mix right here, and we're just going to start with the French toast. We're going to be putting these in here, smashing them down, taking those, and just placing them on the disc. We have our French toast placed into the disc. We're going to just take a little bit of cinnamon, just add a little bit more flavor to each one. Not much, just a little sprinkle. And this is just something I do just to give it a little bit more flavor for the children. So this is another spatula that I use along with the disc cooker. When you select your spatula, you need it to be thin. You don't want sharp edges on the side, pointy edges. You want to be round so they don't dig into the disc surface. You want it to be thin up at the top just to slide, and very flexible so that it conforms to the disc surface. So once we get those flipped, let's put a little more just cinnamon on the other side. Not much, just a little bit. I really like the cinnamon flavor with my French toast. So our French toast is done. Let's take that off. So we're done with the French toast. I want to just show you, we set up the paper towels. We absorbed a lot of that bacon grease. Now, before we even start with the scrambled eggs, we grab the paper towel full of bacon, and as you can see, this is what I like to do. All that bacon's in there, and it's not going to leave a real thick layer of grease on there, but we're just going to prep it for the eggs. So we'll have the eggs, put them in there. So what I like to do is just give it a little bit of time on one side to start cooking. We don't want it to get burnt, but we want to just get that first little layer going. And you see how that heat zone on this disc is almost 18 inches across. And just look how the eggs just pull right off. And that's what happens. That's the properties of having a well-seasoned disc. As you can see, the eggs are done. The disc, it doesn't have a lot of eggs sticking to it because it's well seasoned. A well seasoned disc means it's going to have the same properties of a non-stick pan. So let's remove the eggs. So after we have the eggs removed, what we're going to do is we're going to use the paper towel soaked with the bacon grease to just clean and season for next time our disc cooker when we use it for our next meal. So we're just going to go around, take that, just pushing it around. Let's remove this. Let's take a few more clean paper towels, and what we want to do when we're wiping out the discs is we don't want like an oily surface. We just want it to be coated with the oil, but we don't want it to be like glistening where a lot of oil pooled up in the bottom. We just want it where it's a nice matte finish, and I hope you can see how that looks. We just have that nice matte finish, and this is how you want to leave your disc for next time. So we have our eggs and our bacon. As we finished cooking our bacon, I showed you a technique to utilize that bacon grease. We absorbed it within the paper towels, slid it up to the side, and then I continued to use that throughout the whole cooking process. And then afterwards, when we finished with the eggs, we used it to finish seasoning the disc and set the disc up for our next use. So, French toast, bacon, eggs, just another recipe that you can do on the Voyager disc cooker.